Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 57th episode of Slime Time, the official Dragon's Quest Dragon's Den podcast. This is Liamland. We've got a great guest for you today. He's a Dragon Quest YouTuber with a particular talent for creativity. If you have or haven't seen his Dragon Quest X videos yet, stick around. You're in for a treat. Plus, we'll be getting into his process for building out videos, scoping talent, and a project he's working on to fan translate Dragon Quest X. I'd like to welcome Ryan Molina from Battle Geek Plus to the party.
Hey, how's it going there? How's it going, everybody? I'm a long-time listener,
well.
first-time guest.
All right. Yeah, I mean, we've known each other in the fan base for a number of years.
Yeah.
I've always liked your videos, and I'll talk a little bit more about that
All right,
in a
awesome.
little bit.
Thank you.
But yeah, of course. But let's get to some recent Dragon Quest news. So just to recap, we did do an April Fool's episode saying that Dragon Quest X would be releasing to the West. If anybody didn't realize, that was an April 1st episode drop. April Fool's. It's a little late now because we're towards the end of April, and this it's a little late now to say that. But if you did wait until after the end of the credits, you would have heard Platy and I whisper simultaneously. So
Yep,
yes,
I listened to that one.
that is not happening. But
sadly,
yeah, and you know, in the words of the great Gilbert Gottfried, there are no plans for worldwide release, but maybe someday, who knows?
well, we do have some good news a little later on, so
yeah, some fingers crossed. So there was a Keshi Keshi event that dropped this week. It's the second half of a Dragon Quest VIII event that overlaps with a sponsorship with Baskin Robbins. So there are actually 3 ice cream related monsters that have Baskin Robbins branding to them. One of them is called a vanilla ice slime, and it's essentially just a glob of ice cream in the shape of a slime in a Baskin Robbins cup. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's interesting that now we have actual sponsored Dragon Quest monsters.
yeah, it's actually kind of funny. Like, one of the people who lives in Japan on our Dragon Quest X Discord actually tried the ice cream the other day and said it was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it anything? Did it taste like lime? Like limes are supposed to taste like lime?
I think they said it tasted a little sour, but it's good.
All right. My wife's cousin actually, because I don't have access to Baskin Robbins, so my wife's cousin in
Right.
Shizuoka is actually going to grab a bunch of that stuff and get me the coasters and everything. She can't send me the ice cream. I think it would be melted by the time I got it in the mail.
I know exactly.
But yeah, but at least I'll get the coasters and she's gonna grab a bunch of pictures for me and everything. So
awesome.
I'm excited about that. We were talking yesterday, a couple of folks on Twitter, and I think it was Greatest mentioned that there's a Dragon Quest IX demo game for McDonald's, and it came out in like 2009, but it was a demo. It was a demo game. It's kind of like, it's one of those things that's kind of like lost, where you can't get it anymore. I'd love to see if the fan base can get a ROM of the game and fan translated. I was talking to the Luchador, who is our merch expert and former Slime Time guest as well, and he had mentioned that it didn't seem realistic because most of the Japanese fan base wouldn't have access to the demo. If it got sent to them, they would have had to send it back, and McDonald's probably junked them. So yeah, it would be one of those amazing finds, like finding like a lost episode of Doctor Who, where
I was also wondering. Yeah, I was also wondering too. Wait, did that Dragon Quest IX demo come with a Happy Meal or something?
I don't know, but I'd love to see. Somebody did say it came with like the red afro.
Oh, okay.
In honor of Ronald McDonald, presumably.
Oh, wow.
But that's it's pretty amazing that there would be. I'd love to see if there were like, I think someone did say there was a dragon monster that was like McDonald's, not branded, but like, I don't know. Yeah, there's I'd love to see what other kind of McDonald's specific monsters might be in the in the official canon.
in that'd be cool.
In the Dragon Quest universe. So I am playing in game of I'm doing original playthroughs, like the original version, starting from Dragon Warrior NES all the way through. Right now I'm on Dragon Quest VI on the Super Famicom with my son.
Oh, cool.
We've been playing him since he was 2, so
Nice.
he doesn't he doesn't remember any of the original stuff.
Yeah, it's a little too early.
Uh, yeah, I'll have to play him again with my daughter when she's 2. And then you know, we're on 6 right now, and we just got to the part with the flying bed.
Oh, okay, awesome.
So I have to kind of explain to him that it's an homage to Little Nemo and Slumberland.
Right.
But also I have to explain to him how it's possible for 4 characters to fit into a flying bed. And
It's Dragon Quest. Anything
yeah,
happens.
yeah, it's the same thing with Dragon Quest 3 when your mom's like, "Oh, come on in, your friends can stay too in
Yeah,
one bed."
you only got one bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've only played very little of the original Super Famicom Dragon Quest 6, but I have played through the entire DS version. So yeah, so has it been like a really like unique experience for you and your son?
I think so. He's not that he's starting to get bored. He started to get a little bored with 5, but I also think
Oh,
he
really?
did
Okay.
not take Papas's death well.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, that's a huge moment.
yeah.
And you're
But it was
playing with him,
also
so he's like, "Oh my god."
yeah. Well, we also tried to read the Dragon Quest Monsters Plus manga, and like in the second book, like the hero from the first Dragon Warrior game comes up and just like slashes a dragon into
Right.
pieces, and they actually show it.
Oh my god.
He got freaked out about that too,
Okay,
understandably. I think he
wow.
was like
Yeah,
3 at the time. So
right.
yeah, I'm not winning Father of the Year anytime soon. But so yeah, there are some things that he enjoys and some things that he doesn't. And so like
Right.
I try to handle like a lot of the grind stuff, like the grinding on my own, and just play the events or the major plot points with
Yeah,
him.
because back when I was a kid, I didn't like grinding at all, so
Yeah, but it's great to see these moments with him where he's, you know, like I remember rescuing the princess in the very first Dragon Warrior game when he was like
oh, nice.
2 or 3, and he wanted to put her back so he could fight the dragon and rescue her
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
again.
he wants to be the hero, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or in 5, he chose Flora as the
Right.
bride. I
Oh,
allowed him
okay.
to choose the mom, and then I named the kids after him and his sister.
Oh,
And
nice.
so he gets to be the legendary hero.
Awesome.
And so right after, you know, he chose Flora, he's like, "Hey, where's Bianca?" So yeah, it's not a harem, son. It's not.
Uh,
This isn't one of those polygamy adventures. Although maybe there's a fan hack out there
yeah, who
of
knows?
Dragon Quest 5, all 3 or all 2 or 3 brides, depending on which version you're playing. But yeah, so it's just 6. He is. I think he's starting to kind of tire out a little bit of just the like constant grind. So I've
Right,
been
okay.
trying to pull back and just show him like the cutscenes and major things. He loved getting Scrimsley Terror,
Okay,
Amos.
cool.
Yeah, he loved Amos, and he loves having this kind of Dragon Quest equivalent of like the Incredible Hulk, where you can
All
just
right,
turn into
nice.
the monster at any point. So that's fun. I'm looking forward to playing 7 with him because
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a long one.
that's where the classic series starts to take a major shift. I know it shifts significantly with 6 in a lot of ways graphically,
Yeah.
but it's kind of it's an interesting change to a more 3D realm that starts with 7 and continues and really starts to get perfected with 8.
And you'll be playing the PS1 version of 7 with him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
will
That's the longer one.
yes. I'm gonna be doing a lot of puzzle grinding in the beginning,
Right, yeah.
so it won't be as brutal for him to 2 hours in see your first slime battle.
Yeah.
But all right, well, before we get into Dragon Quest X, let's get to know you a little bit more. So,
Okay.
what was the first Dragon Quest game you ever played?
Yeah, so the first Dragon Quest game I ever played was Dragon Warrior 1 on the NES. It came out in 89, so I would be 7 going on 8 at the time. And I remember asking my parents to get a Nintendo Power subscription because like I heard they're giving the game for free, but my parents were like, "No, that's going to give you bad grades," and yet yeah, they weren't wrong about it. So I missed out on the Nintendo Power subscription. So I didn't get to play Dragon Warrior 1 until 1992 when I was in the 5th grade. And I remember when I first played it, I didn't really like it for some reason. I mean, I was way more into Ultima Exodus on the NES at the time. And so I was like, how can a game be better than Ultima Exodus? And so in the summer of 92, my cousin actually bought Dragon Warrior 2, and then we beat that together. So that kind of gave me the inspiration to get back into Dragon Warrior 1. So I re-rented Dragon Warrior 1 and I actually beat it. And I remember that moment of clarity was when you had to use like Princess Gwaylin's love to find a token of Erdrick. And then I was like, whoa, I had to use my brain to actually find this thing. And now I can actually beat this game. And so after I beat Dragon Warrior 1, I borrowed Dragon Warrior 2 from my cousin and I beat that on my own. And then later that year, that's when Dragon Warrior 3 came out and I got that for my birthday in the 6th grade. And I've been a fan ever since.
Nice. Yeah, you beat two. That's you beat two on your own. That's pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah,
That's a rough one
I
for a
mean,
child.
it was really tough for me and my cousin to beat it, but
Uh-huh.
after beating it with him, it was a little easier for me since I kind of knew where everything was.
Yeah. I mean, with those unblockable death spells in Roan, that
Oh
really
yeah,
I think I've been ranting about that since the first Slime Time episode. It's like
and actually, and getting through that cave just to get to Roan was already a
oh
pain.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, with all the pitfalls and everything. Oh
yeah.
yeah. All right. So, what are some of your favorite Dragon Quest game or games in the series, mainline versus?
Yeah, so I did a YouTube video on my top 11 Dragon Quest games where I said, I like Dragon Quest 3 the best, but after really thinking about it, I'm gonna probably move Dragon Quest 10 to my number one now since I put the most hours into it. It's like
Mhm.
the one I'm the most emotionally attached to. So I'll probably say my top 3 games are Dragon Quest 10, then Dragon Quest 3, then Dragon Quest 5.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of there's so much drama going on in five, and there's just a ton of
Yeah.
really solid plot and life choices.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I can relate with it too. After losing my father like years ago, like I played 5 a year after I lost my father, and I was like, oh my god, this is now I understand why everybody thinks 5 is so good.
Mm,
So yeah,
yeah, I wish we could have gotten a better ending to the movie, but
yeah,
that's
that's something we're not
that's
talking
another
about.
episode.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to go back and like re-edit it, and I had
yeah,
this like right after I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna.
yeah.
And then I
I
thought,
mean,
what the? I did,
I did
well, the
not hate
music would get
the
all chopped up.
yeah, I didn't hate the ending, but I was like, come on.
Yeah, yeah, bit of a red herring there.
Yeah.
So how about spin-offs?
Spin-offs, if I have to say my favorite spin-off of Dragon Quest would definitely be the Rocket Slime series.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially number 2 which we got here
yeah,
as the original Rocket Slime on the DS.
yeah, yeah. So the first one is actually, and I don't know how many people know this, but the first one's really actually playable without knowing
Oh yeah.
any Japanese.
Yeah, I did the entire first game on an emulator without knowing any Japanese.
Yeah,
I mean, you might need like a guide a little bit, but it's pretty easy to get through.
yeah, especially if you played Rocket Slime first,
Yeah.
because it essentially is the same game but without tank battles.
Yeah, and each of the games, yeah, each of the games like they're not really they actually don't have a continuous narrative, so you can just kind of play which one you can play any game from the beginning.
Yeah, and then, I haven't played the third one yet. I know we've
Oh,
interviewed.
it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they took out the slime rescue, which is one of the things that I really liked, but I do want to try it.
Yeah.
I understand they have ship battles instead of tank battles, so I'd love
Oh
to
yeah.
see.
I mean, I like the third game a lot. I still prefer the second game the most, but I definitely recommend playing the third game.
Yeah, yeah, I will definitely do that someday. But yeah, I like you said, the second one is definitely my favorite, Rocket Slime.
Yeah.
So, do you have any favorite characters or monsters in the series?
Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of them, so I'm just gonna kind of go game by game. So for the first 3 games, they actually don't have a ton of characters that have any memorable personalities that I remember. But beginning with part 4, I definitely like Tornico,
Hmm.
and then part 5, I like Papas and Sancho, and also Bianca. For part 6, I like Carver and Terry. For part 7, I definitely like Kiefer and Ruff. Then 8, I definitely love Yangus. I think everyone loves Yangus from
Yes,
8.
yeah,
From
portrayed
9,
by Ricky Grover, does
yeah,
such an
by
amazing
the
job on
awesome
that.
Ricky Grover. Yeah. See, 9, I don't really remember a lot of characters from 9, but I did like the villains from 9.
Hmm.
Like Gorham Hog,
Oh yeah,
Goseby
yeah.
Purvis,
Uh-huh.
and, and then from and then from 10, my favorite characters are Anne Lucia from version 2. I
Hmm.
like, and then I also like also like Husa from version one, Stella from version three. I like Malid from version four, and I pretty much love the entire like version five cast. And for Dragon Quest 11, I definitely like Hendrik, Eric, and Sylvando the most. And
Yeah. Yeah.
for monsters, oh wow, there's so many. I love so many of the monsters from this game. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to say the slimes are a given.
Uh-huh.
And I also love the gigantes, and I love the killer machines.
Nice. Yeah,
And
it's interesting how like even without saying a word, the monsters become these amazing characters,
yeah, and
even without like without having any kind of like party chat,
yeah,
you
and
know.
like yeah, and if you just look at their designs, like they're so expressive.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah, that it brings out character even without like dialogue. It's interesting.
yeah,
But yeah, that's those are some great choices. As you were talking there as well, I was thinking about how much the characters kind of I appreciate some of the characters more, even having played the Dragon Quest Heroes
yeah.
series,
Oh yeah,
because that fleshes them out even more with voice acting and dialogue and everything. And it's interesting. Like you said, Bianca. I've always been a Flora person,
oh okay, yeah,
but in Heroes, Bianca is way better than Flora.
oh yeah,
I'll take Rain of Pain over Bubble Magic any day.
yeah. Her bow and arrow is very useful in Heroes.
Yeah. So what are your some of your favorite mechanics in DQ games like monster collecting or job classes? Because
Oh, and there are so many to choose from. I'll definitely say with the Rocket Slime series, I just loved like collecting all the monsters and also rescuing your allies in the second game. And but if I had to choose one major mechanic I really love, it was like definitely the casino. But actually even before the casino, like in Dragon Warrior 3, like if you like remember, like you had the monster betting.
hmm
And so like me and my cousin, like when me and my cousin would play Dragon Warrior 3, like we would always bet on the monsters, and we had a lot of fun doing that. And then I think what was it, Dragon Quest 4 when they had the casino?
hmm
Yeah, like the very first one.
uh-huh.
So I played the casinos and all the games, but I got really addicted to Dragon Quest 8's casino, and for some reason I always got lucky with that one. Like I was able to get all the Metal King equipment from the Dragon Quest 8 PS2 casino, but for some reason on the DS version, yeah, like they kind of nerfed it a bit, so I couldn't win as much anymore.
Maybe they thought it was too easy, so they upped
Yeah,
the
oh yeah,
difficulty. Yeah, I was just having a conversation on Discord about the Dragon Quest IV casino just being so brutally difficult.
yeah, I know.
Like realistically so, or if you think about the way casinos are and how the house always wins
Yeah,
statistically, that's what the Dragon Quest IV casino is like. It's very true to
yeah.
life.
And if I do have to say something about Dragon Quest 10, it has the biggest casino in the series and the most games. So I've
Oh
spent
wow.
a lot of hours. Like last year, there was a big casino event that I pretty much spent like 6 hours a day doing, so I can get a whole bunch of tickets from it.
Wow. So yeah, I can only imagine. I'm just trying to compare it to the size of the 11 casino or
Yeah,
casinos rather.
I mean it. Yeah, the ones in 11 are pretty big, but not as big as the one in 10.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I'll
Yeah.
have to check that out at some point.
Oh
I
yeah,
did.
for sure.
I was in quarantine over Christmas actually because I flew back from New York to Japan and someone on the plane had COVID and
Oh no.
I was fine. My wife was with me. She was fine. But she got the excuse of like, oh, we have two kids, so I'm gonna
Right.
stay home with the kids, and I got to get stuck in a hotel for like 10 days,
Oh no.
missing Christmas,
Oh no.
and so it was just
Uh,
me. It was me and my PS4 and my new Nintendo Switch, the OLED version that
oh, oh
I
nice.
picked up. Yeah, Dwayne Bullock, our resident graphic artist and fellow Slime Time host, actually picked it up for me and then shipped it out, and I PayPal'd him,
Oh
and
awesome.
yeah, and so I got to play some Dragon Quest X while I was in quarantine, and I was following Austin's guide for how to convert the paid your trial version to the paid because I didn't want to lose anything.
Oh yeah, totally.
But for some reason I hit like a brick wall with that, and it was like the server was down or something like that. I couldn't figure
Oh
it out, but
no.
I'm gonna try it again because I do want to get into it. I know very little Japanese, just a little.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so hopefully, and we'll talk a little bit about the translation project you were working
Yeah.
on a little
Okay.
bit later. But yeah, hopefully we'll see some more of that. If they're not going to translate it officially.
Right. Definitely.
But besides Dragon Quest X, what's one Dragon Quest game that you really wished you had that had gotten a localization that we missed out on?
That we missed out on. If I had to choose one, it would definitely be Rocket Slime 3. I mean, it already has a great fan translation, but I think if they
Mhm.
did bring it out here, it probably would have done really well.
Yeah, especially I mean, Rocket Slime. I don't know the sales numbers offhand, but like it's pretty beloved amongst
Yeah.
the fan base. So yeah, definitely think that the third one would have done well.
Yeah, yeah, like
As
yeah. I
as
also heard like a lot of people were like, yeah, like Rocket Slime was my first exposure to the Dragon Quest series.
Yeah, I mean, a Joker 3 would have also done really well, I think.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, so such is life. So
yeah, such is life.
yeah. So yeah, so I did want to talk moving on to
Okay,
talk about your videos.
right.
So your videos are great.
Thank you
What
very
I
much.
like most about them is that when you're watching it, it really gives you a sense of what a Western release might be like for this
Right.
game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that was the intent, but it definitely
Yeah.
comes across really well. So while you're watching the gameplay and the cutscenes, it has a very professional quality to it.
Thank you.
So what exactly goes into building one of these videos, and how do you start your process?
Yeah, so about 2 years ago when I began playing Dragon Quest X, I originally wasn't thinking about reviewing them, but then, so yeah, like how I got into Dragon Quest X was, I think 2 years ago I was listening to your podcast with like Noaria, and then I remember Noaria saying that every expansion of Dragon Quest X is like a full length Dragon Quest game. I was like,
I
okay,
know, yeah, that's
yeah, so
amazing. I remember
and,
that too.
yeah, and they totally are. So I was like, okay, you know what? I've waited like years. I've been waiting years. I don't know if this game's ever gonna come out. Then I'm gonna try it. So I said to myself, I'm gonna try it for like an hour and see how it is. And if I decide not to play anymore, that's cool. So yeah, that 1 hour has now turned into 1,300 hours. Like I remember about 2 years ago when I was interviewed by Austin and Beach from Dragon Quest FM, I only had like 300 hours, and now I have 1,300 plus hours. And so I decided to record all my footage and said, okay, once I'm current with the entire series, like 2 years ago, we were only up to the beginning of version 5. So like once I'm current with Dragon Quest X, I want to review the games. So I beat and recorded all of version 1 through 4. And so what I had, and I do admit I played a lot of it in like raw Japanese. I wasn't holding up my phone to translate anything. We didn't have the translation tools back then that
Mhm.
we have now. So once in a while I would hold up my phone during a cool scene. I was like, oh, that's what they're saying. But luckily, I was able to find this Japanese Dragon Quest. I was able to find this really cool Japanese Dragon Quest X wiki that actually explained everything that was going on. So that's what I wrote my outline for the reviews on. So I actually wrote this. So I think I wrote like this 50-page outline of everything I wanted to talk about Dragon Quest X, and I just kind of went from there. I decided, all right, so I'm going to record these over the summer of 2020, since we're all in quarantine.
Mhm.
And then, so I remember the recording process was in June of 2020. I remember for versions 1 and 2, like my roommate was home at the time since, everyone was under quarantine. And so that kind of made it a little more difficult to film. But luckily, I was able to pull it off. But I was lucky when I recorded versions 3 and 4. My roommate had to leave, so those were a breeze to get through, which is really good.
So
So,
he's in the background and while you're recording the videos, and
oh yeah, like I had to tell my roommate, hey, you had to turn the TV down while I'm recording.
yeah, that's why he moved out. He was tired of turning the TV down.
Yeah, exactly. And so and so I so I was also thinking too, maybe I could put in some voice acting like from Dragon Quest 8 and Dragon Quest 11 in these things, kind of to give like people kind of a sense like what kind of like how this would sound if it was actually localized. So for version 1, I mostly just got, like my personal friends. I mean, a lot of people, like, Geekdom,
Yeah,
Sack Chief, and Wolfsbane.
yeah,
But for version 2, I wanted someone to play Anna Lucia, and on obviously like nobody in our group can actually play Anna Lucia. So I actually put out a casting call on Twitter, and I was actually like very surprised. It actually got a lot of people, and I even attracted like I even attracted like professional talent. So I went with an anime voice actor named Hayden Davio, who's really cool to work with. So they played Anna
that's pretty.
Lucia. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those videos. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So can you tell us a little bit more about what it's like to source professional talent? Are you
Oh yeah.
showing them your video and asking if they're interested in playing a role, or are you like just explaining the project?
Oh yeah. So when I did the initial auditions on Twitter, and then Hayden responded, and then after that I looked at Hayden's like demo reel. I was like, oh, Hayden was in like a lot of anime, like, and yeah, and like a lot of anime voice actors are always looking for any type of work to do, even if it's a web project.
Uh-huh.
Well, obviously because I know anime doesn't pay that much, which is kind of sad, but
Hmm.
you know that's just how the industry is.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I like contacted Hayden, and then after that we came to an agreement plan, and then so I would show Hayden all of the footage all the Anna Lucia footage that I recorded and I
Uh-huh.
needed dubbed. And so I wasn't really like hands-on with the directing, since the cutscenes pretty much like show the facial expressions and
Uh-huh.
and and all of
So
the
is
yeah.
she matching the voice to like the lip movement and everything, or how does
Well,
that?
actually, I told Hayden to not match the mouth movements, since I can edit them in post anyways.
Ah, okay,
And
okay.
and,
Yeah,
and
so
it's,
that's something I was wondering about, because you will talk a little bit about
yeah.
about this in a bit, but yeah, I've seen some of the videos where like the mouth movement is just spot on, and I wasn't sure if that was the voice
I'll
actor or if that was editing.
I will tell you this: for Dragon Quest X version 5, they did add Japanese voice acting in, but Square Enix did not really care about matching the. They really didn't care about matching the voice with like the mouth movements, so I
Uh-huh.
had to do a lot of editing for the version
Hmm.
5. Like, oh
So
man.
what? So your output was actually more professional than the actual release.
Yeah.
Release.
Well, I mean I know a Dragon Quest 8, they didn't match every mouth movement, and they actually did it a lot better in 11, but not 100% perfect, but I did the best I could with what I have.
Yeah. All right. So is that you mentioned you're like coming to an agreement for the voice actors? Is that coming out of pocket, or do you have like a Patreon or anything?
Oh no,
To
it's actually coming out of my pocket.
Oh wow. All right.
I
So
mean,
that
I have a decent paying day job, so I can afford I can afford voice actors, but like not like really
not every
expensive
week.
union. Yeah, not every week though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of voice actors are really reasonable.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So has there been anyone out there that you tried to get, but they just wanted too much money, or they just weren't interested?
Actually, not really. I mean, for like some reason though, I actually wanted to look for Zachary Levy if I ever wanted to do a Dragon Quest 9 review, since I know he was I knew he was. I knew he went to the Dragon Quest. I know he went to the Dragon Quest 9 release party, but
Did he?
he. Oh yeah, there's like
I
pictures of him
Oh,
with
I
a lot
don't
of
think I've seen
celebrities.
that.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the other ones. I've seen what's the dude's name from Big Bang Theory?
I think Johnny Galecki.
No,
Or
he's the main guy. He's Sheldon.
Sheldon.
Um,
Yeah, I know. I saw him.
yeah, I've seen him, and I've seen a handful of other, and of course Seth Green from the
Yeah, Seth Green.
yeah. He's not on Cameo.
Yeah.
I want to get in touch with him because I want to see if we could start a petition. If they ever remake Dragon Quest 9, we
Yeah,
need to get a
exactly.
petition together to get him to star in the commercial for
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, because like Zachary Levi's cameo is like never available. So I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to get him for a Dragon Quest IX review.
Yeah, well, Shazam, I can understand Shazam being difficult to get a hold of.
Yeah, and also Chuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right. So sadly, we lost the great comedic talent Gilbert Gottfried this April.
Yeah,
But one thing our community will always have now is your Dragon Quest videos featuring him.
yeah.
Most of the clip where he says there are no plans for a worldwide release, which is fantastic.
Thank
That's
you.
one of those things where I was like, how did you how did was Gilbert Godfrey making the mouth movements of the boss monster? So that was one that you edited then.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, yeah, I only edited it a little bit. For some reason, his like voice, his voiceover matched the voice.
Match the voice of the monster.
Yeah, it matched the mouth flaps perfectly. So I didn't have to
Right,
actually do
right.
much for it.
I love it. I'm not gonna do it justice and try to do a Gilbert Gottfried voice.
Oh,
But
well, go ahead and try
there,
it.
there are no plans for a worldwide release. All right,
That's
yeah,
actually pretty good.
we could
Well,
sit
because
here all day and just he'll be rolling
there
in his
are
grave.
no plans for a worldwide release. Yeah, because the thing is with my YouTube, yeah, like with my YouTube channel, like a lot of people keep saying, "You look like Gilbert Gottfried. You look like Gilbert Gottfried." I'm like, well, I mean, it would be great if I could sound like him. I've been trying to do a Gilbert Gottfried type voice, but it like kills my throat so bad. So
Yeah, right. Man, you can only imagine what it would be like for him to do that character for a really
yeah,
long time.
yeah. So,
Um,
like the reason why I wanted to get Gilbert Gottfried in because I originally did that voice. I was like, there are no plans for a worldwide release. Yeah, so I did the original voice, and I wanted to make fun of that from the 35th anniversary because I felt like, oh man, we may never get this game. So
oh yeah.
I just want to make fun of that moment.
I love it. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
such a great troll for the lack of Western releases in
yeah,
general.
exactly. Oh
So
yeah,
thank you
totally.
so much for doing that.
Yeah, no problem.
Can you tell us what it was like to work with Gilbert,
Yeah,
and
so
how many minutes of footage did you get with him?
all right, so I went to Cameo to see if I can get Gilbert Gottfried, and so like there was an option where if I paid $200, I can have him say I can have him say something really short, but it's like limited to like 100 characters. Or if I paid $900, I can have him say like a whole paragraph of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I could have afforded the $900 because I spent a lot of money on the voiceover for the version 5 review already. But I was like,
Mhm.
you know what? I'm probably gonna go with the $200, and luckily I was able to get like those 2 lines in exactly within the character limit. No,
Mhm.
enough. This game will
Oh
never
wow,
be
there's a character
finished.
limit.
Yeah. There's a character limit.
It's gotta fit. It's gotta fit within a tweet.
Yeah. No, actually less than a tweet
Okay.
from what I remember. So I was like, oh boy.
Man.
So yeah, so what I did, so yeah, I paid for the $200 version, and then in like the morning, I think last August in the morning on a Friday, after I got my paycheck, and then around 8 o'clock at night, I got it back.
Uh-huh.
I got Gilbert's files back, and so he just did the hi. This is Gilbert Gottfried. There enough. This game will never come out in English. There are no
Yeah.
plans for worldwide release. So I use that first take in the video, but kind of surprisingly, an hour later, he actually sends me a second take.
Oh,
I,
that was like later on. I watched both of them
oh,
back to back.
yeah, like the second one is the one he sent like an hour later. Like he
Uh-huh.
didn't have to do that, but he just did. I
It's
mean,
like,
which is really
no,
cool.
no, I can do it better.
It would better. Well, I didn't really use the second take. Yeah, I didn't use the second take because he said enough 2 times,
Uh-huh.
but I put it in the video anyways. At
Yeah.
kind of near the
Yeah,
end.
it's amazing.
Yeah. So
It's like the just the raw footage of it.
yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah. So I was yeah. As for directing, well, I didn't have like enough space to say like I need you to say it this way. So I just said, hey, just say this. So just say these lines exactly in your Gilbert Gottfried voice, and I think we'll be cool there.
Hmm.
And so what was
Yeah.
kind of funny too, when I released my BattleGeek Plus 10-year anniversary trailer for and it showed some like footage for the version 5 review, I did use Gilbert Gottfried's voice in it,
Uh-huh.
and like a lot of people were asking me, is that really him? I'm like, yes,
Wow, you
it
do a
really
really
is.
amazing Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, like a lot of people didn't think it was actually him.
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah, so
it's as sad as it was just for him
oh yeah,
to
totally.
have passed away. It's amazing that we have this clip of him. And
Yeah.
so was he into the idea, or how does the I've never done cameo before. I've only seen kind of clips here or there.
Um,
Was he into the idea, or was he talking? Did he just send you the short video clip, or I was just kind of trying to understand. Did he stay in character? Is he talking to you at all?
oh,
How does that work?
he was in character the entire time. Yeah, just all I did was when I put in the written request, I just said, hey, I just want you to say this line in your Gilbert Gottfried voice, and
Hmm.
then after that, I pressed send, and then he would just send me the clip right back. We
Oh,
didn't
okay.
really have a lot. We didn't have a lot of communication in
Hmm.
between that moment.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just interested. I would have been interested to see his reaction to reading what you wrote and see, like, understand, like, what.
because in my request I didn't have enough characters to put in. So this is for a Dragon Quest X review. I just told him, well, okay, I don't have enough characters to write Dragon Quest X in here, so I'm just
uh,
like, okay, just say it in your normal Gilbert Gottfried voice. And
nice.
also, what's pretty cool is I was able to put yeah I was able to credit him on IMDb. So if you go to his IMDb page, it's actually my awesome video game
Oh
memories Dragon
man.
Quest X version 5 review is one of his last roles. Like
Wow, really?
legitimately, yeah. You can go to
Oh my
his
God.
IMDb page right now. Yeah.
I'm gonna go check that out right now. That's
Right, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That's
Just take a look
awesome.
at it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was a bit hesitant to do it at first because I didn't know if I really wanted to spend the money, but now I am very, very glad I did it.
All right. Yeah, look at that. He's number looks like your IMDb is it's one of the last four things he did. That's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep. There
Awesome
you
video
go.
game memories. Jaganuba.
Yep. Now he's immortalized.
Yeah, yes. So what can you tell us about the Dragon Quest X translation project that you're working on? How far into the translation are you?
Okay, so it began over a year ago. Now I'm not going to mention the original creator's name since he kind of wanted to disappear from the internet because he felt like he would get home from his really tiring day job, then he would work on the Dragon Quest X translation project, and then he would have people complain to him when like something wasn't translating right or working, and a certain person in the community who we banned was really giving him a hard time. So that
Mm,
was kind of the icing on the cake why he wanted to leave. Well, luckily, like we banned this person, so he's not going to cause any trouble again. But yeah, so he decided to hand it off to us. So about a year ago, he created this program called Acmon, which is actually based on the old like DQ10 dialogue, the old DQ10 dialogue translator from the Dragon's Den.
hmm.
And so like he improved on it. So like what it does, it shows an overlay of the translated text on top of the game, and it uses like Google Translate or like DeepL to translate all the dialogue.
Hmm.
And so we were using that for a while, and then after that he was able to create another so he was able to create another program called like it was called DQX. It was called DQX Clarity, which actually translates the menus and actually some of the dialogue too. And so like what it does, it actually injects the English translation into the RAM of the game. So like we're not messing with the actual game files because that's illegal and
Hmm.
we could probably get banned for it. And so like luckily like nobody's gotten banned for using Clarity yet, but knock on wood. But I've been using it for like a year already, and I personally been fine. And
Hmm.
I definitely know the Japanese side of things has picked up on it. Like a big Dragon Quest X news site is saying, "Oh, wait, how are people playing this in English? Oh my God, this is crazy."
Hmm. That's awesome.
Yes,
And that you mentioned it's PC only. Would it be feasible to have a translation patch for Switch, or
sadly, it's only PC only.
are there significant technical hurdles for something like that?
Yeah, there's a massive amount of technical hurdles. Like one of them being like you have to modify your Nintendo Switch, which is illegal by Nintendo. So
Hmm.
you might get banned from even connecting online if you play with a modded Switch.
Gotcha.
So you
Okay.
should probably if you want to play it portably, definitely use a laptop.
Okay. Interesting. So, and you mentioned it was based on Google Translate because I've had more misses than hits when it
Yeah,
comes to Google
yeah.
translating Dragon Quest games.
Yeah,
Um,
so we were originally using Google Translate, but then we like decided to use DeepL since it's a little more accurate. But
mhm.
I'll have to admit, with DeepL, it's a little more aggressive sounding, so you're gonna get a lot more curse words than you actually think you're gonna get in DeepL. So if
Okay.
you can imagine Dragon Quest characters saying the F bomb for no reason at all. That's what
It's just
DeepL
like
kind of
yeah,
does.
it's just like the Dino Daiboken manga fan
Oh,
translation.
oh yeah. I mean, I've read through that. I've actually read through that like 3 times already. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. It's like I'm reading the Die translation again.
Yeah. Somehow I don't think that made it into the official translation, all those
It definitely did not since I.
expletives.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that sounds awesome. I don't have the PC version. I only have the Switch version, so I may have to kind of power through
Right,
as long
right.
as I can. Is it possible to start on Switch and then like transfer your character over to PC?
Oh yeah, since since all of your data is already saved in the cloud, you can easily just like play on the Switch, and then you can resume on the PC just as long as you log in with the same credentials.
Oh wow, you can switch back and forth
Oh yeah,
fluidly like that.
it's completely crossplay. Yeah.
Huh. Wow. All right. That's definitely something I will check out then.
Yeah, so you're not going to lose any progress if you like go to the PC version.
Yeah, I mean, I already have it loaded up on the Switch. I just need to figure out that, like I said, that hurdle, that wall I was hitting with the server not working properly when I was trying
Oh,
to
oh yeah,
convert
totally.
from the trial to the paid version that I have. So
Yeah, like I would guess you were trying to do it during maintenance time. So, and
it was over Christmas, so that very well could be true.
yeah, yeah, I think that's probably what
It's
happened.
probably not. Yeah, like they were not anticipating someone doing that.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day or whatever. So, well, so before we go, do you have anything you're working on now that you'd like to mention?
Like right now, I'm actually working on a game myself. I can't talk too much about it because I want to surprise people, but I am actually trying to look for some professional voiceover for it. A little more down the line this summer. So yeah.
All right. Well, if you need a poor sounding Gilbert Godfrey, you can always count on me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh yeah.
if you have any upcoming Dragon Quest X videos too, loop me in. I'd love to give that a shot as well. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. And also, I would like to talk about now, how far we've actually gotten in on our translation for Dragon Quest X.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah, so because DeepL isn't exactly super accurate, as you know. So we actually found a way to put in our own text in the game, and so we have a small team of translators right now, but not a lot, probably less than 10. And so I remember they did a lot of version 1, and then like they were asking, hey, we need some more people to help us out since we're kind of overwhelmed because there's just so much text in the game,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
And now there's like five, no, it's just 6 versions of it. So
Hmm.
yeah,
No,
so I volunteered. So I volunteered to help. So I did. So like the first thing I translated was like the major elf key emblem story, and then I did a lot of version 2.
mhm. Now, are you translating the events as well and all of that, or is that
Oh yeah.
just too much for too much content?
Oh yeah, we're also translating the events. We have someone
Wow.
who actually translates the events as soon as they come in.
Oh wow. Oh, so someone on your team is like specifically handling
Yeah,
events.
yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm just mostly doing like the main. I'm just doing mostly the main game right now, and like we have more people doing the main game too. Yeah, and if anyone's listening, we could definitely like use a lot more translators. So look for the Dragon Quest X worldwide Discord, and we could talk to you there.
Cool. All right. So do you have anything else you want to mention before we hop?
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. So if you want to play Dragon Quest X in English on PC only, like just Google Dragon Quest X Clarity, or just go to ryanquest.com. I have links to all the translation tools, and we can get you going there. And also, yeah, and And as of now, you can pretty much play the entire game in somewhat broken English, but also with our translations too. So the entire game up to version 6 is playable. You just have to have a bit of patience, and you have to be able to kind of like decipher some of, the deep L translations, the
Hmm.
best you can.
But it's supposed to be better than Google Translate, from what I
Oh,
understand.
yeah, a lot better than Google Translate.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the tough thing about these translation programs in general is that there's so much in terms of translating Japanese. There's so much context,
Yeah,
and context can change the entire meaning of a sentence. So that's why if the translation tool doesn't know the context, it can sometimes throw it off, and you get these kind of wonky "all your base are belong to us" type
yeah, yeah.
outputs.
I would definitely say in like version 4, there's a lot of context that
Hmm.
like deep L isn't really translating well. So like we have a person who actually knows a lot of Japanese and is
Hmm.
gonna go through version 4 for us. So which is great.
Awesome. Well, that's it for this episode of Slime Time. We do want to thank Ryan for joining the party.
Awesome. Thanks for
Thanks so
having me.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I love talking about the different types of creative projects and doing them at a level that is professional quality.
Right. Thank you.
It's always good to see if the company's not going to produce the Western release, then the fans can take up that charge
Yep, we're
and
gonna do it ourselves.
show them how it's done. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
So, well, thank you so much for coming on to talk with us today. So we don't use Patreon. We won't half inch your hard-earned money when we can offer you quality content about the game series we know and love for free. If you do have any money that is completely burning a hole in your wallet, pouch, bottomless bag, or searchable wall sack, and you'd like to donate to anything to the website that's been supporting Dragon Quest fans for over 20 years, stop by Dragon's Den at woodus.com/den and click on support this site. Woodus has owned and maintained the Dragon's Den DQ fan site for over 20 years, for decades rather, and he's personally edits every YouTube version of our podcast. He fully appreciates any donations that will keep the servers running. The Dragon's Den website also features Amazon affiliate links. If you click on the link and make a purchase, a small fraction of the sale will go to support the den, and it doesn't cost you anything. To advertise with us, reach out at slimetimepodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments for the Slime Time podcast, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at DQ Slimetime. The Instagram account is something I manage personally, and I post a lot of photos from Japan on that Instagram, so definitely check that out. Consider joining tons of DQ discussions of the Dragon's Den forums, one of the few remaining forums still around. Find it at buddhist.com/forums, and you can also find me and other Dragon Quest fans through the Dragon Questers Facebook group. Come hang out with us and tons of other hardcore Dragon Quest fans in the officially unofficial Dragon's Den Discord server. Almost said Dragon Quest Discord
Sorry,
server, but that
Quest.
doesn't actually exist. If it did, that would be pretty intense.
Yes.
We'd like to thank everyone that made this possible, like Woodus, for his support of the series and this podcast and keeping the Dragon's Den lights on for decades. Thanks to Amanda Lepre and the Descendants of Verdrick for allowing us to use their music for our podcast. Descendants of Verdrick is a video game tribute band from Austin, Texas. Check out their album Advent at www.descendantsofverdrick.com or on Twitter at @diaverdrick, and check out Amanda Lepre streaming on Twitch. Our thanks to Dwayne Bullock, our wonderful graphic artist, for making an awesome artwork cover for this podcast. Dwayne was on the original iteration of Slime Time podcast about a decade ago. You can check him out, more of his work at Dwayne Art on Instagram or his website, dwaynebullockart.bigcartel.com. Please like, subscribe, and write a review for the podcast. If you're looking for more Dragon's Quest Slime Time, check out our earlier episodes on Dragon's Den, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Audible, YouTube, and more. And check out our brothers and sisters in arms over the Slime Time Side Quest podcast. Their latest episodes are available now. Bye, everyone.
All
Dragon
right, see
Quest
ya.
Slime Time, sliming off.